everybody, hello, and welcome back to the 100-day project. Is that what it's called, the 100-day project? Yes, I think so. And I think today is day 27, which means over the weekend we turned a corner, in as much as we're more than a quarter of the way through now. Isn't that incredible? I feel like I only started it yesterday, but you know. Right, today is clean and simple. It's clean and simple. So I'm starting with a white piece of card, not my general. I usually start with cream, but I'm starting with white today, and it is the same dimensions as all my other tags. It's 3 3/4 across, 7 inches tall. So they all start out at least that size. Right. So the first thing is I have this. It's a bit torn, but it's just a page out of an old dictionary. That's all it is. And I've just torn the borders off, and of course I've used that little bit from a prototype. So I'm just going to tear, because it's old, it tears so beautifully. And I want a piece about there, and then another piece about there. Yes, that's looking fine. And then I want a longish, thinnish piece. So I'll just tear that off. Whoops. It doesn't matter if it rips, it's going to get stuck down. It's fine. That's probably long enough. And that's going to go there. Now, I don't want it all at the top, so I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, down to there. Lovely. And I'm not inking or anything, and I genuinely think that can go in the bin. I could use it in a collage, no denying it, I could. But for this purpose, it's going in the bin. Right. So let's stick the bottom one down first. You can use glue stick or anything. I just happen to have this out. It's handy, so I'm going to use it. Pop it down about there. Lovely. And then this piece. So nothing complicated today at all. It's a Monday. We don't want complications. Just still getting over the weekend. It was a long live yesterday. And that piece just up a little bit like that. Lovely. And then this bit. So that's our basic background. The first layer of the background anyway, let's say, because there's a kind of other layer. So I hope that all the mums in the UK had a lovely Mother's Day, and that you were spoilt rotten and, you know, full of chocolate. So that's going there, and it's just going up. Oh, let's bring it down a bit. I don't want it all up at the top. Like that. That's great. So if you were using ordinary paper, you'd have a bit of a lump here now because you've got 3 layers on top of each other. But that dictionary paper is very thin, so it forgives me that. So the next thing I want to do, oh yeah, my heat tool broken. That's the second one I managed to break. So I'm using my embossing gun today, which is quite hot. But it's all I used to use. I used to use that before I had any fancy other stuff. Right, so I'm going to use these stamps, and they're all in Create number 26 by Bapasha, and they're paint brushes. As you can see, they've got brushes on the end. But I don't want the brushy bit, I just want the long thin bit. And they do say things. This one says, I don't know, they're very hard to read. I dream of painting and I paint my dreams. And this one says, art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. But actually, when we're finished, you're not going to be able to read them anyway. So if you've just got a kind of longish, thinnish stamp, that would be perfect. If you haven't, but you've got a thinnish stamp, even text would be fine, then, what did I do with my big block? Here it is. Then that's fine. You can just repeat it. It doesn't have to be like this. Doesn't have to be like this. I don't know, it just sounded like part of a film. So I'm going to use black to stamp this out. And I don't want to go down to the ferrule part of the brush, just the bit that says what it says. Right, so I want that just to come slightly over the top of that long bit of dictionary and over to the left hand side of it. So let's just drop that down there, hopefully with something like straight. It doesn't matter if it's not the world's most perfect print, but it is a perfect print, but it doesn't matter if it's not. So I don't need that one anymore. Let's put that one away. And get out the next one, which is a bit thicker, but it'll be fine. I'll put that on diagonally because it's quite long. And I just want this one. Where do I want this one? That's a good question. Just next to it, I think. Yeah, I've just got a little bit of that ferrule in there that I don't want. I'm just going to wipe that off. There we go. Right. So I want that slightly further down, about there. Lovely. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't clean the ferrule well enough. So I've got some black lines there, which I could well live without. And then across the ways, I just want whatever's going to go across. So let's clean this off. And I want it to go to where it says painting, which is there. So I'm just going to pop that across the middle there. Right, got mark there now. Not doing very well with this stamping malarkey this morning. Right, so that's me finished with that set. But as I say, if you've got any long, thinnish ones, that'll be fine. You know, text, anything like that. And I've also got this set of stamps. I don't even know what they're called. They're from All and Create. And it's got little, see, just little detailed things on it. So I'm just going to use them. I'm not going to use this big chunky thing anymore. It's a little on the large side for me. So I'm just going to come in between those there and come down to there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same along here. And the same along. I don't mind it going off the page, so I'm going to have it going off the page. Off there, like that. I think that's probably enough. I'm very tempted to put some over that bit that I mucked up. Yeah. Still got two mucky bits there, but I might just have to live with those, I think. We'll see what it looks like when it's finished. If it looks really awful, then I'll come back and stamp something over it. But that's kind of it as it stands at the moment. and I like it. I really do like it. It's a nice cruciform, but fairly plain. And I'm just going to give it a waft over with this. Lovely. Right, so now it's time to add some colour. So I'm going to use for my colour peeled paint in the Distress spray stain, and of course Rusty Hinge. Come on. You've got to use a bit of Rusty Hinge. Now I'm not going to spray it, I'm not going to transfer it any other way. I'm just going to use the dipstick bit of it and put some colour on with that. Just down there, just drop it on, drop it into place. I just want it kind of going straight down. Just like that. And I might want to add a bit of water to that because it's very concentrated. So let's get a water brush out. And just drag that out a little bit. Just so you can see it's green, because it's so concentrated. Lovely, that's great. So let's dry that off. Ooh, doesn't take long with that. That's a speedy thing. Now, I was looking for the lid, but I don't think I've got it. Now I'm going in with the Rusty Hinge, and same thing, I'm just going to use the Dibby Dabber. You don't need to be too careful about where you're putting it either. It's better if you're not careful. And I'm going across with this as well this time. There we go. So I could add a spritz of water to that. Let's just try it. Oh yeah. Just gently. Just spread that colour out a little bit. That's nice. Like that. Let's try that. I forgot that blows everything. Instead of just drying it, it blows it around. So we've got quite a lot of ink there that I wasn't planning on having, but we'll work with it. We can do it. I'm just wondering whether to add some more green. No, I like that. I like that as it is. Right, excellent. So the next thing to do, I could put splatters in the background. I'll see. I could do, but let's wait and see. So the next thing I want to do is make two butterflies. So I've got some mixed media paper here, and I've got my darkroom door butterflies. I love darkroom door. I love the way that they come in this sort of CD holder, which really protects them. It's gorgeous. I love it. So I'm going to use that one and that one. They're the two sort of of that size, if you like. So, where's my block? I'm going to stamp in black. And I can put them both on at the same time because they're going to be cut out. So stamp these out. Yeah, the only thing about darkroom door is when you get them, they come in one sheet. They haven't been cut out, and you have to cut them out yourself, and that's always a bit hairy. I find that slightly hairy. I've never wrecked a stamp yet, but perfect, that's lovely. It's always in the back of your mind, you know, are you going to cut it too near to the stamp itself? But like I say, I've always been all right so far. Lovely quality stamps. Right, so the next thing to do, I'm going to colour them while they're there because they're just a bit easier to colour. Let's just make sure they're dry. There we go, and I'll get my watercolour pencils out. I'm liking this more and more actually, it's gorgeous. And I want peeled paint. This is the beauty of these watercolour pencils. They are in the right colours for the job. And rusty hinge. Right, so what I'm going to do is spritz some water onto my media mat, moisten my brush. Oh, it's already had green on it. And just pull some of that colour off there. I'll start with this one. So it doesn't matter if you go over the lines because we're going to cut it out. So don't be too worried about that. Such a pleasant thing to do, colouring, isn't it? It's really kind of mindful. You just get into it and go. There we are. So I'm just going to go over closer to the centre. Darken that bit down a bit. There we go. So yeah, I think that's fine. That looks nice to me. Let's put that back in its box. Clean the brush. Perfect. And then we'll use the rusty hinge, which I already had out. Excellent. So just take the pigment off the end of the pencil. If you look on the pencil as being more like a watercolour pan, just in the shape of a pencil, you'll probably get on better. That's where I was confused when I started with the watercolour pencils. I was scribbling them onto paper and trying to draw it out, and it just wasn't having it, no matter which paper I used. But now I've realised that they're a pigment stick, and as such they're excellent. Because if you were using ink to do this, you'd smush it onto the media mat, you know, and come the end of it you'd be wiping up loads of spare ink. Whereas with this, there is no, you're just taking it off as you need it. And I like that. So yes, from being a bit, oh, I don't know about these, to yeah, I really love them. Yeah, that's what's happened. I do really love them. Because they're in the colours we recognise from Distress, and they all mix so well. So just this final little bit to do. Just going to colour that in because I'm not going to fussy cut down between his wings. There we go. Right, so I've got a pale paint and a rusty hinge. Let's just wash some of that colour out of that brush. Perfect. Put the rusty hinge away. I'll pop those away for safekeeping. There we are. So now it's just a matter of fussy cutting those out. So if I can pause you, I will pause you, but I'm not promising because this thing's a bit wonky at the minute. Okay, well, hopefully we've still got sound and everything's all right. So I've fussy cut my two butterflies, there they are. And it doesn't take a genius to work out what we're going to do next. I think, however, I will just go around. This mixed media paper is quite thick and you can see the white edge on it, which I'm not fond of. So I'm just going to go around that with a little bit of vintage photo. Will be fine. If I can find my dauber, here it is. So yeah, just a little bit around the edges. And then, you know, you make your butterflies obviously according to the colour that you've used on your central piece. There we are, and I'll just whiz around this one as well. Why not? I'm not putting it on the actual butterfly, I'm just on the edges. Just take that horrible whiteness away. Right, there we go. Right, so next question is where to place them. Don't quite fancying that one up there, and I'm trying to get rid of that splotch. Not that it matters, it doesn't really matter. The whole thing's kind of mixed media and like that, I think that's fine. Right, so what I want to do is just put a tiny little bit of dimensional tape just there. Perfect. And another even tinier piece. Actually, that's too big. Just there. Get off my finger. Yeah, just there. So I'll use that other tiny piece for there. And then another piece for the upper wing. Just up there. Lovely. Right, so let's take the release tape off. Oh, the whole thing wants to come off. Normally this just drops off, but not today, apparently. There we are. And get off. I want to put some glue down its body because I want that to be flat to the, and just a little bit each side. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to my dimensional tape, give me a chance to move it if I want to. So about there. That's where I'm going. So I'm going to stick his body down and let the wings land where they may. I'm just going to hold that for a while because the wings will want to pull it up off the off the tag. Seems to be all right, I think. Have I got anything I can lie down at? Anything with a bit of weight? Not really. Let's just put that down there. Lovely. Right, let's move on to this one with the dimensional tape. I never used to use dimensional tape, did I? And I've gone dimensional tape mad. I just like it when it's things like these butterflies, especially on quite a plain card. I think it just, well, it literally raises them up, doesn't it? So pop that piece there, get off my finger, thank you. And this piece here. Lovely, press them down, get rid of the backing. So I hope you all enjoyed the live yesterday. I did like the tags that we made. I thought that they were, especially that red one at the end, I thought was really quite pretty. So they've gone in the Sunday box. Although they're pretty, they've gone in the Sunday box because that's where they belong. This one will go in the pretty box though, because it's not really botanical, it's not Timmy, it's not Edith. So yeah, I'm going to put that down there. Down there. So I'll stick the body down and then the wings will go where they want to go. So that should be stuck down by now. Let's use the same trick here and just hold it down for a second or two. Go and get the lid on my glue. There we go. Right. So that's not too bad. I like that. It's nice. And I'm not going to do anything more to it. I'm not going to ink the edges or anything. I'm going to leave it clean looking, is how I would describe that. So I'm going to back it, however, as usual, onto my cream card. Oh, gosh, your finger's getting a mess doing this, I'll tell you. Unless it's just me, I just seem to get ink. Show me the bottle of ink and I tell you, it's all over my fingers. I can't help myself. I don't do anything I don't think stupid. It's just it gets everywhere. There we go. There we go. I do love that peeled paint. It's just such a gorgeous colour. It's quite a vintagey colour, isn't it, do you think? I think so. Let's just make sure this is stuck nicely. Ugh, get off. Shouldn't be allowed to touch this. Not safe let loose. Right, let's cut that out of there. So after this, I've got some orders to make up. So I'm going to have to give my desk a really good scrub down, because otherwise everything's going to end up inky. There we go. So just the top to put in, and we are cooking. Right, so let's mark where the top wants to go. Goes there. Well, I'm quite good with our centralising the thing. And I think I'll put a copper one in. I think it can stand copper. No, I might put a faux copper one. That's perfect. The ones that Mr. F did with alcohol ink. Took some of my copper ones, which I'm never going to use all of those in a month of Sundays. And he coloured them with alcohol ink. And now they're this gorgeous colour. Really nice. Perfect for this job, I would say. There we go. Great job. So I have got this ribbon, which is, I would say, peeled paint colour just about. So let's see how much of it I've got. I'll cut it about there. Fold it in half. Push that through. Yeah, peeled paint, I know there is one called crushed olive, but it's quite an olivey colour, the peeled paint, which is no bad thing. I like that colour. There we go. That's that. Now just to tie a bow. How simple. Oh my life. I can tell you already I can't see that. I thought I was getting a bit better because of all the bows I've been tying recently, but it would appear not. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. Right, so let's just pull that one through and that one through a little bit. Yep, that's okay. Where's my big blue scissors? And that one's alright. So there we go. There we go, guys. We've done it. Quick as you like. Very, very quick. Now, here we are. I've got a sheet of white paper. Well, it's off-white, and you'll see it's off-white when I put the white against it. See? So that's the one we've just done, and I really do like it. I really do. And this is the one I did, was my prototype. Now you'll see I've changed up some things. That's part of the reason of doing a prototype, isn't it? I've stamped the I've stamped these out in black. These ones are stamped out in the colour, the Rusty Hinge and the Salvage Patina. These ones are stamped in black and then coloured, and I like that. They stand out a lot better. And what else did I do different? Oh yes, I've made these wings stand out, whereas this is very flat. So yeah, I think I've managed to improve it. I still like that one. If I take that one away and show you that, I mean, it's still pretty, isn't it? It's really nice. But an interesting thing, I use Salvage Patina oxide spray, and you can see there that it's very opaque. You know, I had a lot there, and you can't see, in one spot you can't see the text through it. So just beware of that if you're using oxide sprays, that they are opaque. And this one I used inks, and you can see it very clearly through. So there's our two. This one I think is definite improvement on this one, but that one I wouldn't be shy to use in a journal either. I quite like it. So thanks for joining me, guys, on our day 27, and I hope you'll join me again on day 28, when between then and now I will rack my brains and come up with something hopefully interesting for you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.